A gun that has shocked me in its popularity since its release, the Smith & Wesson Shield EZ. I got to fly up to Smith & Wesson all the way back in 2019, and what I thought we were going for was a competitor to the then super popular P365, and this is what they revealed. And at first I was thinking, what the hell are they thinking? This does not compete at all with the P365. It's really nowhere close. And so my initial impressions are, I mean, it's cool. I see the purpose that it serves, but they're not going to sell too many of these. And boy, was I wrong. As far as I know, it's been one of the most popular guns that they've sold, and now I get it, and I've talked about this in videos before, but back then I really didn't. I wasn't on board initially, but because of everybody that this gun can be for and what it does really well, I've kind of deemed it over time the gun that could serve anyone. And so now this gun gets a much needed update for 2022 with a different name and a little bit different badging. Well, a little bit different all the way around, honestly, but it still retains some of the features here. And in this video, I'm gonna kind of do some comparisons to this, maybe a couple of others, and tell you where I'm at with my first impressions of the new Equalizer from Smith & Wesson. From the first-time gun owner to patriots, Second Amendment advocates, and freedom lovers everywhere, we all have one really special thing in common besides our love of firearms. We cherish the rights that are guaranteed to us by our Creator, and we all have an urge to be prepared for anything that may happen. And most gun owners know that this isn't to be taken lightly. There's three things you really need: education, training, and self-defense liability insurance, and that's where the USCCA comes in. Now, I have been a proud member, supporter, and promoter of the USCCA for over 7 years now, so I've been with them for a while. But if you just want to learn more about what they have, membership options, all that kind of stuff, I left a link down below in the description box of this video so you can check that out for yourself. Like I said, I've been with them for a long time, but they actually do risk-free and a bulletproof money-back guarantee. So when I say there's literally no risk here, there is zero risk, at least trying and seeing what they have to offer. You never know when a lawful self-defense situation is going to happen. I mean, that's why we carry in the first place, to be prepared for those situations. And in part of your preparation, it is nice knowing that the USCCA has your back from the very beginning with their education, their training, and the self-defense liability insurance. It is a peace of mind that every gun owner deserves. That's why the USCCA was founded, is to help responsibly armed Americans like you and me. This is definitely not something that you just want to sit on or wait on if you own a gun. This is an important tool for you and your family to stay safe and to have somebody on your side. Again, I left that link down in the description box below. Big thanks to the USCCA for sponsoring today's video. Now, this is somewhat of a presentation case. This is not a typical way a gun, or this gun, is going to come, okay? So just keep that in mind. But pretty much everything you see in here is going to come with the gun, minus the holster and the optic. We'll touch on those here in a little bit. So what we have now is a lighter, smaller version of the EZ that actually holds more rounds, and it takes the Shield Plus magazines. So you have a 10-round mag, you have a 13-round mag, and a 15-round mag. So if you want this thing to be ultra concealable, or if you want as many rounds as you can get, or a mixture of however you want to do this, it comes with 3 magazines, and they carry over from the Shield Plus, which is fantastic news. Now, this one also came, and actually all of them come, with the Maglula Uplula magazine loaders. These things are great, man. I've been using these for frickin', I don't know, geez, 7 years, 8 years? Probably since we started the frickin' channel, honestly. These things are fantastic. I'm just glad to have another one, dude. We recently bought one, actually, to replace the original one we had, and that one's still not even broken. It's just sticking a little bit. These are great. And then, so they also sent a crossbreed style holster. So, you know, obviously they're working with them. That has the little magazine pouch on it. Am I a huge fan of this? No. I do like Crossbreed, the company, though. So no knock against them at all. And then mine came with the Holosun EPS. I haven't used one of these yet. The EPS carry, it might even be new for this gun. I really don't know. Not really sure there, but I'm excited to see how this optic does. I use Holosun on pretty much everything I do, so I'm excited to see how that runs on this gun. But the way it's generally going to come is 3 magazines with the loader, and then of course all your paperwork and stuff. So let's get this case out of the way and let's talk about the gun. Now, big thanks to Smith & Wesson for sending this gun out so I can bring this to you. Of course, you want to be subscribed with notifications when we do our first shots and our 1,000 round update. That way you don't miss any of that stuff. Now let's go ahead and talk about that big old fat elephant in the room, the name. Now, when Smith & Wesson released this on their Instagram, I laughed a little bit because I went straight to the comments like we all do, just to see what people were saying, and man, people were railing on the name of this thing. And I get it, it's not my favorite, but if you think about it in a different way, you know, a gun makes men and women equal. So that's pretty cool. You know, if you, I don't know, that's kind of the way I thought about it when I first seen it before I went to the comments. And I was like, you know, I just kind of laughed a little bit. Somebody said something about the Shield Plus EZ. I thought that would have been a great name, but you know, they want to kind of differentiate it a little bit from the Shield Plus while still retaining some of those features, important features like magazine compatibility. So I kind of understand there. We put them slide to slide. You can see that little difference there in the front. Of course, the one on the left is the EZ, and it's got the port because this is the Performance Center. If we put them like that, essentially the same width. And then if we put them flat on their backs, lift up just a little bit, that's one of the more significant differences right there in the overall length. And of course, the original EZ was 8+1. So now you have 10+1, 13+1, or 15+1 in this gun. So that's a significant upgrade as well. And the fact that this thing shares mags with the trusty M&P Shield Plus is most definitely a bonus. Original mag that I've had for a while. Boom, locks back. Let's test it the other way. 13 rounds, boom, locks back. How about the 15 round? I don't even have one of these for the Shield yet, so that's cool. 15 rounds right there. Now, I would not carry like this, but you have that option as well if that's something you want to do and you want max grip length, possibly even shootability. Personally, this is the best shooting carry gun on the planet in my opinion, even in this configuration. We're going to have to wait and see on the equalizer, of course, to make any kind of claim like that. But the fact that it shares mags is a huge bonus for this gun and a huge update compared to the original EZ. Size-wise between these two, wow, that kind of surprises me. I'm going to throw the specs up on the screen so y'all can see that. But the EZ, or the equalizer, is quite a bit longer. If we look at them like that, it looks like the Shield specifically in the slide is a little bit thinner. Keep in mind this is an internally hammer fired gun compared to striker fired, and I'll talk about that here in a minute as to why if you don't know. And the height should be about the same, which they are. Yeah, perfect, perfect. So in this configuration, considering the grip height is about the same and they're the same height in general, it's going to carry the footprint of the gun is going to be about the same as the Shield Plus, with a little bit longer sight radius and a little bit heavier as well. Now remember, this gun and who this gun is for is a huge part of why this gun exists in the first place. You know, there's a lot of people that will scoff at this and say, oh man, that's so stupid. The grip safety, I'm not a huge fan of the grip safety either, honestly, but they'll say, man, this thing is just dumb. From the name to the gun itself is just stupid. But the idea is this is for, you know, somebody maybe that's new to concealed carry, maybe somebody that's timid around firearms, weak dexterity, carpal tunnel, arthritis, something like that. I don't think they make those claims, but it's obviously easier to pull back on the slide for that. And what I mean is I don't think they make the claims, oh, hey, if you have arthritis, you can absolutely pull the slide on this thing. I don't want to speak for them, but with the proper technique and how to rack a slide, this thing is much easier, and that's who they're kind of going for. So the fact that it weighs a little bit more than the Shield Plus might be a con in the way that it carries, but it'll be a plus of the range because in theory it should shoot a little bit flatter and have a little bit less felt recoil. We're going to cover a few more things and then we're going to end the video out. You can see they updated the slide serrations here, so they made them really cut deeply into the slide there. So again, easy to rack. And by the way, it says just as easy to rack this gun as the original Shield EZ. You can see your optic plate up top there. Comes with a standard set of, 3-dot sights, Picatinny rail, takedown lever, slide stop, trigger. We'll cover that in the initial review once I get a feel for it. Magazine release is reversible and an updated grip texturing. So it's kind of like the Shield Plus in that they've toned it down a little bit. They kind of went a little bit more aggressive than the original EZ, and yet not nearly as aggressive as like the M2.0. So somewhere in the middle there. And then of course the grip safety. Again, I'm not a huge fan of that. I guess I'm just not a huge fan of the aesthetics of it. Really, that's pretty much it, honestly. Plus when you break the gun down, you do not want to have that engaged because my slide got stuck doing that. Just a little heads up there. Other than that, man, there's not much more to talk about until we actually get this thing at the range. So you have little wings back here too, by the way, milled into the slide. Assist wings, if you will. But with these slide serrations, my goodness, look at these compared to the original. So you have the fish scale style serrations of the original with, again, that little milled out wing or whatever to assist in charging up the gun. These slide serrations, dude, rain, sleet, snow, shine, you should be able to charge up this gun no problem. I like those a lot, man. They're really cut deep. And, kind of getting away from the fish scale style serrations is not a bad thing. They're good serrations, but this, for the ideal person and who this gun is for, might be a better option anyways. And the Equalizer got a much needed update, but we have to get this thing to the range. So again, consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. Hit your notifications so you don't miss any of the updates on this gun. And make sure that you look around the channel here and check out the plethora of videos that I've done here revolving concealed carry, the Shield Plus, the EZ, whatever you want to check out. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to support what I do, you can do that through Patreon for as little as $1. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.